Right now, there are features inside your Toronto home that are quietly reducing its value. Some are obvious. Some you look at and think, wait, that's a problem? And one of them, the last one on the list, has nothing to do with taste or trends. It's about whether your home shows sign of care, and it's the hardest to recover from. I spoke with this couple from the Bloor West neighborhood. They had a semi that sat on the market for 47 days with another agent, and nobody told them why. I walked through in 20 minutes and counted 6 of the 10 items on this list. Fixable, every single one of them. Total cost to address all 6 was under $12K. They relisted and sold within 2 weeks. If you're planning to sell your condo or start a home to move into something bigger, every dollar you leave on the table is a dollar less towards your next home. The expensive renovation is almost never the answer. The $200 fix you've been putting off is. 10 items, all fixable. I will show you exactly what each one costs and what it's costing you. Some agents do this. They'll put in a listing, original, textured ceilings, but nobody's fooled. The second a buyer spots popcorn, your home just got old. If your home was built before 1978, you need to get tested for asbestos. Once a test comes back clear, it is a removal and a skim coat. Professional removal in Toronto runs about $2 to $4 a square foot. So a 1,500 square foot main floor costs about $4 to $6K. And if you're thinking about doing it yourself, the most common story I hear is not, I had it done professionally. My brother-in-law started in 2019 and 2 rooms are still half done. Hire it out. Nobody ever lost a sale because their walls were painted neutral. Plenty have lost one because they were not neutral enough. The burgundy dining room, the terracotta bedroom, the shade of green only works in Tuscany. To the homeowner, that is personality. To a buyer, that's a renovation budget they're already calculating before they open a closet. Here's the thing. Bold does not kill value. Personal does. Muted earth tones read as intentional. Lime green, hot pink, fire engine red reads at someone else's house. And nobody pays full price to move into someone else's house. The second problem is quieter. I walk into Toronto homes every week where the owners painted the whole house cool gray in 2016 because every designer on the planet said to. It looked current then. Now, it's more of a timestamp. So what felt modern 10 years ago feels tired today. Well, the fix is the same for both. Warm whites, soft greens, taupes with beige undertones. Think colors that let the buyer imagine their own life in the space instead of feeling like it's inheriting yours. One weekend, one trip to Benjamin Moore, there's almost no high return on your time. Buyers don't walk into a room and think, those fixtures are from 2003. They just feel like something's off, like brass chandelier with candle bulbs, frosted glass globes the builder installed for $8 each because nobody was going to complain. Every house has at least one. Most have 6. What you need is an afternoon and a trip to lighting showroom. Think brushed nickel, matte black, unlacquered brass. Swap 4 rooms and the house feels 10 years newer. Prioritize the entry, the kitchen, the dining room, and the primary bathroom. Those are the rooms buyers describe to their partner on the drive home. Nobody ever walked into a house and said, I love this carpet. They absolutely walk in and say, this has to go. And the moment they say it, they start justifying a lower offer in their head. Worn, stained, or flattened carpet does not just look bad, it makes the entire house feel uncared for. Once a buyer decides a house has not been maintained, you're fighting that impression in every room that follows. But here's where it gets interesting. The question is not the carpet versus hardwood. It is what's under your carpet right now. In Toronto, especially in older semis and post-war bungalows, there's often original hardwood sitting under the 30 years of broadloom. I was in a semi in the Junction last month. Beautiful Edwardian details, original trim, stained glass, and wall-to-wall carpet throughout the main floor. The sellers were about to spend about $9,000 on new carpet. I said, pull up a corner first. There was beautiful oak hardwood underneath. It's worth more than any carpet they could install. When looking at the Remodeling magazine cost versus value report, puts hardwood refinishing at about 147% return. One of the highest return on investment projects you can do. So before you spend $8,000 on new carpet, check what's underneath. There might be $15,000 worth of value sitting underneath your feet. There's no name for this one. That's exactly why it keeps costing people money. Oak in the living room, tile in the dining room, a different shade of laminate down the hallway. Each decision made at different times, maybe a different decade. In Toronto, this shows up in most homes with rear additions, or converted porch. The original house has one floor. The addition has another. Individually, neither is wrong. Together, they're a little bit jarring. Here's the thing. The fix is not always replacing everything. In open concept spaces, it is non-negotiable. The eye travels too far and the contrast, it's too obvious. But where rooms are clearly defined by walls and doorways, a well-chosen transition strip signals the difference was intentional. The goal is continuity. One material or materials that were clearly chosen together. It sounds small, but it's not. If you're a homeowner in Toronto thinking about selling in the next little while, hit subscribe. I put out videos like this every week, about 3 to 4 of them. I'm just shy of 1,600 subs right now. If you subscribe, it'll help me keep on making videos just like this. You don't need a new kitchen to sell a house. You need buyers to stop staring at the cabinets. Dark oak with brass hardware, honey maple with ornate rooted edges, cherry stain that looked great in 2005 and has made the kitchen feel like a time capsule ever since. Dated finishes do not just look old, they make the kitchen feel smaller and heavier than it actually is. Your instinct might be to gut it. That instinct is going to cost you. A minor kitchen update in Toronto runs about 15 to 25K. Paint the cabinets, swap the hardware, update backsplash, maybe replace the countertop. The Remodeling magazine cost versus value report found minor kitchen updates return more than anything dollar for dollar. So a full gut renovation in this market runs about 60 to 100K and recovers roughly 50 to 70 cents to the dollar. The more you spend, the less you get back. Cabinet painting and a hardware swap. White or soft white for the cabinets, matte black or brushed nickel for the hardware. The formula works because it disappears. It stops asking anyone to have an opinion about your cabinets and lets them actually see the kitchen. You're not renovating. You're removing an objection. This is the room with the worst return on investment of any major projects. Bathroom renovations. It recovers about 50 cents on the dollar, according to the same report. A full gut and a redo is almost always the wrong move. What actually moves buyers is not a spa renovation. It is the absence of neglect. Grout that's clean. Caulk that is not cracked. Fixtures that do not look like they shipped for the house in 1997. And when there's a whirlpool tub, I watch buyers walk into a primary bathroom, see a whirlpool tub, immediately start calculating what it will cost to rip it out. That tub has not been turned on for years, and everyone knows it. Whirlpool tubs were a luxury sign in 1995. Today, they are wasted square footage. Buyers see exactly what was sacrificed for it. So what to do? Regrout the tile. Swap the fixtures. If you can convert the tub to a standing shower, possibly do it. Targeted improvements only. Spend less, fix what's broken, and get out. Buyers make an emotional decision when they drive up to your house. Everything after that is a justification, which means the most valuable part of the house might be what people see from the street. The Remodeling magazine cost versus value report ranked garage door replacement #1 in the country for the second year running. Not a kitchen, not a bathroom. The first thing people see before they unbuckle their seatbelt. Walk to the end of your driveway, turn around, look at your house the way a stranger would. Peeling paint, a weathered door, overgrown shrubs. Each one is a signal. Together, they are a verdict. So in Toronto, this hits especially hard on narrow lot semis. The entire face of your house is 15 to 20 feet wide. Every detail is magnified. A crooked downspout or peeling trim is not a background detail. That's the whole picture. A $300 front door repaint and 2 hours landscaping can shift first impression more than $30,000 in interior work. Someone decided the garage would make a great gym or home office or playroom. The market does not care. It sees a missing garage. In Toronto West End, this is everywhere. I see what happens in the showings. Buyers are shopping in the 1 mil to 1.4 range and have a checklist. A garage is on it. When it's gone, they do not adjust their offer. They remove the house entirely from their search. If converting back is feasible, do it. A garage restores the house to a category buyers are actually shopping in. That's worth more than the conversion cost in almost every case. One exception, in dense downtown areas where car ownership is rare and square footage is a premium, a well-done conversion can work. But in the West End, in South Etobicoke and the Junction, buyers want the garage. A buyer can forgive dated cabinets. They can overlook old fixtures. They can mentally repaint every wall in the house. Those are cosmetic. The buyer knows the cost and factor it in. Deferred maintenance is different. Deferred maintenance makes buyers wonder what they cannot see. Caulk pulling away from the tub. A ceiling stain from a leak that was fixed 3 years ago, but never painted over. Weather stripping hanging off the front door. Each one is small. Together, they did not just tell a story, they raise a question. If this was ignored, what else was? In older Toronto homes, I see this most with aging roof shingles, cracked foundation parging, and deteriorating window seals. Each one has a functional life. Once that life is up, it does not signal charm, it signals liability. Buyers who feel that start looking for confirmation, and they find it everywhere suddenly. Every creak in the floor, every scrub in the baseboard, every stiff window becomes evidence that the house was not cared for. Fix the small things before they become negotiating ammunition, because in a negotiation, they will not stay small. Here's the thing nobody tells you about selling a house. Evaluating your own home takes conscious effort. You have lived there too long to see it the way a stranger will. Everything that needs attention has become invisible. So before you list, before you stage a room, walk through your home and the way a buyer would. Start at the curb, go room by room, be ruthless. That walk will tell you more than any appraisal.